Was the worst debate I have ever seen.
President Trump interrupted over and over.
The president was constantly interrupting.
Constantly interrupting.
He doesn't want to let me answer because he knows I have the truth. His position has been totally, thoroughly. Well. By everyone as discredited. Matter of fact, even the people who testified under oath.
So let me ask you later,
Mr. President.
You're talking about 2 million people.
Mr. President, as a moderator.
And let me just tell you, there was a story in one of the papers that
President Trump, are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups?
It's a late show with Stephen Colbert. Tonight, Shut Up, Man, plus Stephen Welcome, John Lithgow, and Jonathan Alter, featuring John Baptiste and Stay Holman. And now, live on tape from the